Good day, everyone. We are going to discuss the worm gear, or the worm of. So, what is worm gear? Worm gears are gears which are widely used for transmitting power at high velocity ratios between non-intersecting shafts that are generally, but not necessarily, at right angles. It can give velocity ratios as high as 300 is to 1 or more. It is mostly used as a speed reducer, which consists of worm and worm wheel or gear. The worm wheel or gear is similar to a helical gear with a face of curve to conform to the shape of the worm. There are two types of worm gear. First is cylindrical or straight worm. Cylindrical or straight worm is the simplest form of worm gear, where a straight cylindrical worm engages with a simple helical gear. The second is single enveloping worm, a type of mechanical gearing system consisting of two main components, a worm and a worm wheel. For the material used, there are for worm, first is cast iron, second is alloy steel, third is cast steels, fourth is carbon steels. And for the worm wheel, there are aluminum, brass, copper, and plastic. For the terms used, first is axial pitch. It is also known as a linear pitch of a worm. It's the distance measured axially from a point one thread to a corresponding point on an adjacent point on the worm. Second is the lead. It is the linear distance through which a point on a thread moves ahead in one revolution of the worm. Third is lead angle. It is the angle between the tangent to the thread helix on the pitch cylinder and the lane normal to the axis of the worm. And for the tooth pressure angle, it is measured in a plane containing the axis of the worm and is equal to one half the thread profile angle. And for the normal pitch, it is a distance measure along the normal to the threads between two corresponding points on two adjacent threads on the worm. For the helix angle, it is the angle between the tangent to the thread helix on the pitch cylinder and the axis of the worm. And for the velocity ratio, it is the ratio speed of worm in RPM to the speed of worm in gear in RPM. So how worm gear works? The worm screw continuously rotates and drives the worm wheel. Mesh with it, worm and worm gear form a lower pair as they have sliding contact with each other. In a worm gear drive, power is always transmitted from worm to worm wheel. Power cannot be transmitted from worm wheel to worm. This phenomenon is called self-locking. It is highly useful in many applications. Velocity ratio is determined by the number of teeth on a worm gear and the number starts on worm. Power transmission decreases with increase in velocity ratio. For the formula used, there are efficiency of worm gearing. Efficiency is equals to lead angle multiplied by normal pressure angle minus coefficient of friction over normal pressure angle multiplied by tan lead angle plus coefficient of friction. The efficiency is maximum when lead angle but for square thread coefficient of friction is equals to 0. So efficiency is equals to 1 minus coefficient of friction lead multiplied by lead angle all over to 1 plus coefficient of friction over lead angle. For the other formula used, W is of the permissible tangential tooth load or beam strength of gear tooth. Second is allowable static stress. C sub v is velocity of factor. B is equals to phase width. M is equals to module. Y is equals to tooth form factor. The velocity factor is given by C sub v, which equals to 6 over to 6 plus v, where v is peripheral velocity of the worm gear in meter per second. For the word tooth load for worm gear, the limiting or maximum load for wear W sub W is given by W sub W is equals to D sub G multiplied by B and multiplied by K, where D sub G is equals to pitch circle diameter of the worm gear. Then the B is equals to face width of the worm gear, and K is equals to load stress factor known as material combination factor. For the thermal rating of worm gearing, the quantity heat generated, Q sub G is a power loss in friction in watts, is equals to P multiplied by 1 minus efficiency, where P is power transmitted in watts and N is equals to efficiency of the worm gearing. The heat dissipating capacity Q sub D is equals to A multiplied by T2 minus T1 multiplied by K, where A is area of housing, T2 minus T1 is equals to temperature between the housing surface and surrounding air. Then K is conductivity of the material. For the tangential force of the worm, Wt is equals to 2 multiplied by torque on worm over pitch circle diameter of worm multiplied by width diameter is equals to axial force or thrust on the worm gear. The tangential force W sub t on the worm produces a twisting moment of magnitude W sub t multiplied by D sub W over 2 and bends the worm in the horizontal plane. For the number 2 is axial force or thrust on the worm, W sub A multiplied by W sub T over tangential force or tangential lead angle is equals to tangential force on the worm gear. So W sub A is equals to 2 multiplied by torque on the worm gear over pitch circle diameter of the worm gear. For number 3, radial or separating force on the worm, W sub R is equals to W sub A multiplied by tan coefficient of friction is equals to radial or separating force on the worm gear. The radial or separating force tends to force the worm and worm out of mesh. This force also bends the worm in the vertical plane. So for advantages of worm gear drives operate silently and smoothly. They are self-locking. They occupy less space. They have good meshing effectiveness. They can be used for reducing speed and increasing torque. High velocity ratio of order of 100 can be obtained in a single step. For the advantages of worm gear materials are expensive. Second is worm drives have high power losses and low transmission efficiency. Third is they produce a lot of heat. For the application of worm gear drives, first is hoisting machine, speed reduces, presses, worm wheel, lifts, and conveyors. For the sample problems and solutions, a triple start worm has a module of 6 mm and a pitch circle diameter of 50 mm. It engaged with a worm wheel that has 30 teeth and uses a pressure angle 14.5 degrees. The coefficient of friction between worm and wheel is 0.05. So find the following. Number 1 is lead angle. Number 2 is velocity ratio. Number 3 is center distance. And number 4 is efficiency. Given of the problem is first is module is equals to 6 millimeter. Worm pitch circle diameter is equals to 50 millimeter. Number of starts is equals to 3 or triple start. Number of teeth on worm wheel is equals to 30. Pressure, pressure angle is equals to 14.5 degrees. Coefficient of friction is equals to 0.05. So first step is the lead angle. The lead angle of the worm is L is equals to axial pitch equals to number of starts multiplied by circular pitch. So circular pitch is P is equals to pi multiplied by M or the module. So circular pitch is equals to pi multiplied by 6 is equals to 18.85 millimeter. So lead is equals to 3 multiplied by 18.85 is equals to 56.55 millimeter. So now lead angle is given by tan multiplied by lead angle is equals to lead over pi multiplied by d sub 1. Tan multiplied by lead angle is equals to 56.55 over pi multiplied by 50 is equals to 56.55 over 157.08 is equals to 0.36. So lead angle is equals to tan raised to negative 1 multiplied by 0.36 is equals to 19.8 degrees Celsius. So lead angle is 19.8 degrees. So number 2 for velocity ratio. Velocity ratio is equals to t sub 2 over n sub 1. So 30 divided by 3 is equals 10. The velocity ratio is 10. So for number 3 is center distance. Center distance is equal to d sub 1 plus d sub 2 over to 2. But we don't have d sub 2. So d sub 2 is equals to m multiplied by t sub 2 is equals to 6 times multiplied by 30 is equals to 180 millimeter. So d sub 2 is 180 millimeter. So C is center distance is equals to 50 plus 180 all over to 2. So our center distance is 115 millimeter. For the number for efficiency, efficiency is equals to tan lead angle multiplied by 1 minus coefficient of friction multiplied by normal pressure angle over tan lead angle plus coefficient of friction. First is to convert angles to radians. So our lead angle is 19.8 degrees. The tangent angle is equals to 0.36. The normal pressure is 14.5 degrees. The tan pressure is equals to 0.258. Now substitute here. Efficiency is equals to 0.36 multiplied by 1 minus 0.05 multiplied by 0.258 over 0.36 plus 0.05 equals 0.36. 1 minus 0.0129 over 0.41 equals 0.36 multiplied by 0.9871 over 0.41. Then 0.355 is equals all over to 0.41 is equals to 0.8659. So this 0.8659 we multiply to 100. So the efficiency is 86.6%. For our sample problems number 5, a worm gear consists of a worm with a triple thread driving a worm wheel with 48 teeth which is attached to a 24 inches pulley. The worm is driven at 900 rpm. Find the speed of the worm wheel. So for the given of the problem, first is number of threads on worm is equals to 3 or triple thread. Second is number of teeth on worm wheel or T sub 2 is equals to 48. Then worm speed is equals to 900 rpm. Pulley diameter is 24 inches, but not needed to find gear speed unless torque and speed relation via belt is asked. So for the formula of the worm gear, the velocity ratio is given by velocity ratio is equals to T sub 2 over to number of threads. So the worm wheel is speed is n sub 2 is equals to n sub 1 multiplied by number of threads all over to T sub 2. N sub 2 is equals to 900 multiplied by 3 all over to 48 equals to 2700 all over to 48 equals to 56.25 rpm. So that's all everyone. Thank you for listening.
Topic is helical gears. So my name is Alex Rasco, and let's start our discussion today. So introduction of helicals. There is a basic difference between spurs and helical gears. While the teeth of spurs gears are cut parallel to axis of the shaft, the teeth of helical gears are cut in the form of helix on the pitch cylinder. In spurs gears, the contact between meshing teeth occurs along the interface width of the teeth, resulting to sudden application of the load, which in turn result in impact condition and generates noise in high-speed application. In helical gears, the contact between meshing teeth begins with a point of the leading edge of the tooth and gradually extend along the diagonal line across the tooth. There is a gradual pickup of load by the tooth, resulting in smooth engagement and quiet operation even at high speeds. So the spurs gears is when she's operate or when he high speed, the spurs gears is more generate noise more on in ears of the human or things that the spurs gears are over noise in operation or generate noise in high speed application. When the helical gears is mm, quietly when high speed, so it's good for operation in mechanical. Types of helical gears. Helical gears are used in automobiles, turbines, and high speed application even up to 3,000 meter per minute. There are two basic types of helical gears, parallel and cross. So The parallel and cross is the two types of helicals. Parallel helical gears operate in two parallel shafts. In this case, the magnitude and of the helical helix angle is the same for pinion and the gears. However, the hand of helix is opposite. Cross helical gears are mounted on shaft with cross axis. Their teeth may have the same or opposite hand of the helix. So this is the feature of cross and parallel parallel helix. This is the cross helix and this is the parallel helix. This is the two types of helical gears. So advantages and disadvantage of helical gears. The advantage of helical gears over other basic gear types include more teeth in contact simultaneously and the load transferred gradually and uniformly. As successive teeth come into engagement, gears with helical teeth operate more smoothly and carry larger loads at higher speeds than spurs gears. The line of contact tend diagonally across the face of mating gears when employed for the same application as spurs gears. These gears have quite operation. So this gears is from it's see in car sometimes and into production or company company machine. It's so quietly. But sometimes spurs gears it may see in always it see in in mechanical machine in factory. So disadvantages of helical gears. The disadvantages of helical gears are greater cost and spurs gears and the presence of an actual force component that requires thrust bearing on the shaft. Helical gears to proportion follow the same standard as those for spurs gears, the teeth from the helix angle. With the gear's axis measure on an imaginary cylinder of pitch diameter. The usually range of value of the helix angle is between 15 degrees and 30 degrees. Various relations may readily be developed from geometry of a basic rock, illustrated with dimension in transverse plane at plane, normal plane, and axial plane. The distance between similar pitch lines from tooth to tooth are the circular pitch, the normal circular pitch, and the axial pitch. Formula for helical gears. Formula for tangential force. Ft is equals to Fr over tan degree, where Ft is equals to tangential force, Fr is equals to radial force, degree is equals to pressure angle. Formula for radial force. Fr is equals to Fn sine degree times sine degree, where Fr is equals to normal force, Fn is equals to radial force, degree is equals to pressure angle. Formula for axial force. Fa is equals to Ft times tan degree, where Fa is equals to axial force, Fr is equals to tangential force, degree is equals to helix angle. Formula for normal pressure angle. Degree n is equals to tan raised to negative 1, close parenthesis, tan degree cos degree, open parenthesis, where degree is equals to pressure angle, degree n is equals to normal pressure angle, degree is equals to helix angle. Formula for axial pitch. PA is equals to PCN over tan degree is equals to pi over DN times tan degree, where PA is equals to actual pitch, PCN is equals to normal pitch, normal circular normal circular pitch, PD is equals to diametral pitch, degree is equals to helix angle. Normal diametral pitch, PDN is equals to PD over cos degree, where PD is equals to diametral pitch, PDN is equals to normal diametral pitch, degree is equals to helix angle. Formula for normal circular pitch. PCN is equals to PC times cos degree, where PC is equals to circular pitch, PCN is equals to normal circular pitch, degree is equals to helix angle. Lead for helix angle. L is equals to PA for single helix, L is equals to 2PA for double helix, L is equals to 3PA for triple helix, L is equals to NPA for multiple helix. Design calculation helical gears. Beam fatigue strength of the teeth. Fs is equals to SB times Y over KF times PDN, where Fs is equals to beam fatigue strength, S is equals to endurance strength, B is equals to phase width, Y is equals to Lewis form factor. Kr or Kf is equals to stress reduction factor, PDN is equals to normal diametral pitch. Dynamic formula for dynamic load. FD is equals to FT plus 0.05 BM times BM, close parenthesis, FT plus C times B cos squared degree, open parenthesis, close, cos degree over 0.05 BM times BM, square root of FT plus C B cos squared degree, where FD is equals to dynamic load, FT is equals to tangential load, BM is equals to pitch line velocity, B is equals to phase width, C is equals to factor which depends upon the elasticity of material. A degree is equals to helix angle. Formula for wear load. FW is equals to dP times B times Q times kg over cos squared degree. Where, excuse me, FW is equals to wear load, dP is equals to pinion diameter, B is equals to ratio width, Q is equals to ratio factor, kg is equals to wear factor, degree is equals to helix angle. Formula for performative number of teeth. P is equals to N over cos cube or raised to 3 degree, where NEV is equals to performative number of teeth, N is equals to number of teeth, degrees is equals to helix angle. So let's solve it, the problem number 1. A helix gear has 30 teeth and the normal module of 5 millimeter. If the pitch diameter is 150 millimeter, find the helix angle. So we have the 30 teeth and 5 millimeter of module, normal module, and diameter of 550 millimeter. So the formula is cos I'm sorry, cos degree is equals to M over Mn. So let's solve it. The M is equals to d over the diameter of pitch and the gear number one. D is equals to 150 and the teeth is 30 for the gear is equals to 5 millimeter. So the MN or the normal pitch, normal module I mean, is 5 millimeter also. It's the same in M. So let's calculate the helix angle. M is 5, normal module is 5 millimeter also. 5 over 5 is equals to 1. So the helix angle is 0 degree. That's the answer. Let's continue in problem number 2. Problem number 2. Two helical gears two with 40 and 80 teeth mesh together. Normal module is 4 millimeter and helix angle is 20 degree. Find the center distance. So the formula is MT is equals to MN, the normal module, and the prostate degree. So the MN is 4 millimeter and the helix angle is 20 degrees. This is answer of this is 4.26 millimeter. And find the gear number 1 diameter. Number 1. MT is equals to MT over say 1 is equals to MT is 4.26 and the number and the gear 1 is 40. The answer is for 140.4 millimeter. Let's find the gear number 2 diameter of gear number 2. MT times C2 is equals to 4.26. Oops. 4.26 times 80 is equals to 340 point, 340.8 millimeter. So let's calculate the center distance or the DC. Okay. D1 plus D2 over 2. 170.4 plus 340.8 over 2 is equals to 255.6. There. Square root of, ah, sorry, my mistake. Ah, no square root it. Oops. Plus B2. Yeah. So let's continue in problem number 3. So a helical pinion has 25 teeth and meshes with a gear with 75 teeth. Find the velocity ratio. So the solution is, the formula is VRs equals to the gear number 2, the gear number 3, gear number 1. So we have gear number 1, 25 teeth, and gear number 2 is 72 teeth. 75 over 25. Oops. Is equals to 3. So that's the final answer. Let's continue in problem number 4. A helical gear has transverse pitch is equals to 20 millimeter and helix angle is 25 degrees. Find the normal pitch. So we have a transverse pitch is equals to 20 millimeter and the helix angle is 25 degrees. So the formula is Pn for normal pitch and Pt times cos degrees. Pt is equals to 20 times cos is equals to 25 degrees. Pn is equals to 18.3 millimeter. It's the final answer. So let's continue in problem number 5. Two helical gears mesh with the same hand helix angle of 30 degree. Find the shaft angle. So the formula is degree shaft angle is equals to 180 degree minus 2 times degree. 2 times 30 degree is equals to 60 degree. So let's calculate this. 180. Oops. Oh, let's restart it. Calculate degree angle is equals to 180 degree minus 2.2 times degree. So 2 times 30 is equals to times 60 degree. So let's put it this. Let's input in this. Sorry, a mistake. 60, 60 degree is equals to 120 degree. So that's the final answer. So um, I give you a five practice problem, and that's all for today. Thank you.
So, good day everyone. This is Ryan Pacheco, your current reporter. Right now, we will tackle about the spare gears, the fundamentals of machine design, and some calculations report. So, spare gears is very important in mechanical engineering curriculum, particularly in machine design courses. In this presentation, uh, it delves into the essential world of spare gears, fundamental components for power transmission in various machinery. We will explore their geometry, the forces acting upon them, and the crucial principles of strength and design. So, what is a spur gear? Spur gears are cylindrical gears with straight teeth that run parallel to the axis of rotation. Their main function is to transmit rotary motion and torque between parallel shafts efficiently. So, What are the application of a spur gear? So, it can be used as in industrial gearboxes, in automotive transmissions, mechanical clocks, pumps, and small mechanical devices. The advantages of a spur gear is it is a very simple design. It is cost-effective production as well as high efficiency with 98 to 99% per mesh. So some key terminologies and geometry for spur gear is pitch diameter, which is it is the circle on which gear teeth effectively mesh. The the formula for it is pitch circle diameter is equal to the speed multiplied by the module. The module is the ratio of pitch diameter to number of teeth. The formula for the module is equals to pitch circle diameter divided by the speed. The pressure angle between line of action and tangent to pitch circles common values around 20 degrees or 25 degrees. The addendum. The addendum is distance from pitch circle to the tooth. So addendum is a that is equivalent to our module. The addendum it is the distance from pitch circle to tooth 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 root. So the addendum is the B, which is equivalent to 1.25 multiplied by module or 1.35 multiplied by module. For our tooth profile and contact, it ensures smooth and consistent velocity ratio. The line of action is tangent path through which gear force is transferred. Inner contact ratio, ideally between 1.2 and 1.8 for continuous, smooth operation. For the interference, it is undesired contact outside the involute profile reduced by using correctus counts or profile modifications.
Tangential force. This is the primary force component directly responsible for transmitting torque between the gears. It is calculated as WT is equals to 2T divided by D, where T is the torque and D is the pitch circle diameter. Radial force acting perpendicular to the tangential force. The radial force pushes the meshing gears apart. Its magnitude is given by radial force is equals to tangential force multiplied by tan theta, where theta is the pressure angle. So the gear materials and manufacturing needs a manufacturing processes, accuracy grades, common materials, and heat treatment. So in gears are primarily produced through hubbing, shaping, milling, and grinding. The AGMA quality numbers or Q6 to Q15 specify precision, directly influencing the gear's operational noise and vibration levels, with higher numbers indicating greater precision. In typical materials include various steels such as AISI 4140, 8620, cast iron, brass, and engineering plastics like nylon and acetal, chosen based on application requirements. Heat treatment processes like carburizing, nitriding, and induction hardening are used to enhance surface hardness while maintaining core toughness and improving wear resistance. So in conclusion, the spur gears remain the workhorses of mechanical power transmission, essential across diverse industries. Achieving optimal performance and life hinges on balancing bending strength and surface durability, ensuring robust design. A deep understanding of gear terminology, force analysis, and AGMA standards is indispensable for aspiring mechanical engineers. Continuous advancements in materials, manufacturing techniques for examples are 3D printing, and sophisticated simulation tools will further revolutionize gear design. These are some examples of spur gear calculations. A spur gear has 40 teeth and a module of 2.5 mm. If the pressure angle is 20 degrees, calculate the following. So the given is number of teeth, which is 40 teeth. The module is 2.5 millimeters. The pressure angle is 20 degrees. So to get the pitch diameter, we need to use the formula D is equals to M multiplied by N. So D is equals to 2.5 millimeters multiplied by 40, which is 100 millimeters. The circular pitch, we need to use the formula PC is equals to pi multiplied by M. So circular pitch is equals to pi multiplied by 2.55 millimeters, which is equivalent to 7.85 millimeters. The addendum for standard full depth involute teeth, the addendum is equals to module. So A is equals to M multiplied by A, which is equivalent to 2.5 millimeters. The addendum for standard full depth involute teeth, the addendum is equals to 1.25 multiplied by module. So 1.25 multiplied by 2.5 millimeters, which is equals to 3.125 millimeters. The outside diameter, or DO, its formula is DO is equals to 100 millimeters plus 2 multiplied by 2.5 millimeters, which is equal to 105 millimeters. The second example of it is a spur pinion with 20 teeth mesh with a gear having 60 teeth. The diametral pitch is 10 teeth per inch. Calculate the center distance between the shafts. Number of teeth on pinion is equals to 20. Number of teeth on gear is equals to 60. The diametral pitch is equals to 10 teeth per inch. So to get our pitch diameter of pinion, the formula is dP is equals to NP over PD, or the pitch diameter of pinion is equals to number of teeth on pinion divided by the number of the diametral pitch. So NP, or the number of teeth on pinion, is 20 teeth divided by 10 teeth per inch. So this is equivalent to 2 inches. Pitch diameter of gear, or DG, is equals to number of teeth on gear divided by the diametral pitch. So this is equivalent to 60 teeth over 10 teeth per inch. Uh, it is equal to 6 inches. So center distance is C is equals to dP, or our pitch diameter of pinion, plus the DG, which is pitch diameter of gear. Both are divided by 2C. 2 inches plus 6 inches divided by 2. This is equivalent to 4 inches only. So our answer, or our center distance, is 4 inches. In this problem, a spur gear pair transmits 5 kilowatts of power at a pinion speed of 1,200 RPM. The pinion has a pitch diameter of 50 millimeters. Calculate the tangential force, which is the WT, transmitted by the teeth. So the given is power, which is 5 kilowatts, or equivalent to 5,000 watts. The pinion speed, which is 1,200 RPM. The pinion pitch diameter, which is 50 millimeter, or 0.05 meters. For our solution, the velocity, or the formula of our velocity, is equals to pi d, pi multiplied by dp multiplied by our speed. All are divided by 60. So pi multiplied by 0.05 meters, multiplied by the module, multiplied by our speed, which is 1,200 RPM, divided by 60, which is equivalent to 3.14159 meter per second. For our tangential force, the formula is WT is equals to P over V, which is power divided by our velocity. The power is 5,000 wattage divided by 3.14159 meter per second, which is equal to 1,591.5 Newton. The next one is Asperger. The drive consists of a pinion with 24 teeth meshing with a gear that has 72 teeth. If the module of the gears is 3 mm, what is the theoretical center distance between the shafts? Number of teeth on pinion is 24. The number of teeth on gear is 72. The module is 3 mm. So for our pitch diameter of pinion, the formula is dP is equals to module multiplied by NP, which is 3 mm multiplied by 24. That is equivalent to 72 millimeters. Pitch diameter of gear, the formula of it is module multiplied by N, or the speed. Or module multiplied by NG, which is the number of teeth on gear. 3 millimeter multiplied by 72 is equals to 216 millimeter. The center distance, to get center distance, we need to add dp plus dg and divide it both by 2c, which is 72 millimeter plus 216 millimeter divided by 2, which is equivalent to 144 millimeters. In our last number, or our last problem, a spur gear drive uses gears with a diametral pitch of 8 teeth per inch. If the pinion has 16 teeth and the gear has 48 teeth, determine the operating center distance. So our given are diametral pitch, which is 8 teeth per inch, the number of teeth on pinion, which is 16, the number of teeth on gear, which is 48. The pitch diameter of pinion, which is equivalent to dp, is equals to np divided by pd. So 16 teeth divided by 8 teeth per inch, which is equivalent to 2 inches. For our pitch diameter of gear, dg is equals to ng divided by pd, which is 48 teeth divided by 8 teeth per inch, which is equivalent to 6 inches. For our center distance, c is equals to dp plus dg divided by 2c, which is equivalent to 2 inches plus 6 inches. Divide both sides by 2, which is equivalent to 4 inches. That's all for today. Thank you for listening.
So the next topic is bevel gear. So what is bevel gear? It's a type of gear where the teeth are cut on conical surface, allowing it to transmit motion between intersecting shafts. So er, bevel gears are gears used to connect intersecting shafts usually, but not necessarily at a 90 degrees, but typical eh, at a 90 degrees connection. So next is types of bevel gear. So first is straight bevel gears. So straight bevel gears. So what is straight bevel gears? Straight bevel gears are usually used for pitch align, velocities up to 1000 feet per minute or 5 meter per second. So next is spiral bevel gear. So bevel gear is the one with spiral angle. These gears are recommended for higher speed and where the noise level is an important consideration. So next is zero bevel gear. These gear have curved teeth but with a zero spiral angle. So this is the look of zero bevel gear. So lastly is hypod gear. So these gears frequently desirable as in case of sorry. These hypod bevel gears are frequently desirable as in the case of automotive differential application to have gearing similar to bevel gears. So next, what is pros and cons of bevel gear? So pros and cons of bevel gear. Pros: efficient power transmission, compact design, high load capacity, and last directional flexibility. In efficiency power transmission, they are offered to smooth and direct transfer of power. And compact design because there are Their conical shape allows the um, for the space saving configuration because it's ideal for tight assembly. So the angle of the bevel gears is very uh, compact to the tight assemblies. So high load capacity, especially for spiral bevel gears which can handle high load or greater load to I sorry it it can handle higher load or greater load because of the curve of the tooth design. Then next is cons. Complex manufacturing, noise and vibration, maintenance needs, and alignment sensitivity. In complex manufacturing, there are geometrical makes that them harder or more expensive to produce. It's more it costs a lot of money to fabricate bevel gears because of the angle and the teeth needed to. Next is noise and vibration. Straight bevel gears can be noisy, especially when the gears are misaligned. And next is maintenance needs. So it needs regular inspection and proper lubrication because we know why we need proper lubrication and regular inspection to prevent wear and tear. So next is formulas. Formulas. Cutting or root angle. So cutting root angle equals to pitch angle minus to dedendum angle. Next is face angle. So face angle equals to pitch angle plus addendum angle. So next is pitch angle. This is for pinion. So for pinion, pitch angle equals to tan theta times radius of pinion over radius of gear. Next is pitch angle of gear. So equals to tan theta raised to radius of gear over radius of gear. So next is face width. So face width equals to length over 3. So next is length of cone. So length equals to square root of radius of pinion squared plus radius of gear raised squared. Sorry. So next is working depth. Working depth equals to P over diametral pitch. So lastly is total depth. Total depth equals to 2.188 over diametral pitch plus 0.002.